Hello everyone, this is David Giarizzo reporting from Food Plot Chronicles number 9. Number 9? What? Is that right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9! Food Plot Chronicles number 9. Now let's recap a little bit. We had a wet spring, so everything went in late. Tried to plant corn, didn't work. Tried to plant beans, thought they didn't work, but now everything seems to be coming up just fine. But what we're dealing with now is browse pressure. Excuse me, David? What is browse pressure? Well, I'm so glad that you asked. Browse pressure is the pressure that the beans get when the deer want to eat them as soon as they come up out of the ground. This is especially relevant on smaller plots, let's say 2 acres and below. And I don't care how good of beans you can grow, if you got too many deer, or if you got enough deer to create a lot of browse pressure, it ain't gonna happen. So this week, we are trying to salvage as many of those beans as we can. What are we gonna do? We're gonna put a fence up. Actually, we're gonna put up 2.
It is Friday, August 2nd. That's really irrelevant. Well, no, it's not really irrelevant. Because we are going to put a fence around the beans today. Hopefully 2 fields, but for sure where they're growing the best, up in our biggest field, which is good. We got to fence off the beans because the deer are just hammering them, and quite honestly, with the immense amount of rain this spring and early summer, we've gotten late planting on everything. You guys know this. In which case has put us behind in everything, in which case we need the most out of our bean plots that we can get. So we're gonna go protect them today, put a fence up. We're at the back side of the food plot and kind of building this fence, but I got a post there and there's one right there, and I moved this post, the middle one, out a little bit because the bale wrap will just wrap around it a little bit more in a round shape and kind of form to the post a little bit more, so it won't try and be pulling it backwards. We had a lot of trouble last year with the fence and wanting to fall backwards for whatever reason. And this little bow structure is going to allow it to just fall that way and be very, very good. I just got all these posts put in. We got 3 along the back side, 3 along that side, 3 that way, kind of slants up against the wood line, 3 more, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 along this side is the biggest side. And I need to go back and get a couple more taller wood pieces to fit in the middle so that the fence stands up all the way around. But we're going to try something different this year, and we're going to caution tape all the way around the actual bale wrap fence. And hopefully that, basically what we've heard is that like 2 different fences, even though they could probably jump over the bale wrap one, the 2 different fences kind of screws with their depth perception a little bit, and they won't try and jump it. So hopefully it'll keep them all away from it and keep our beans safe. If we could get this middle area right here that's fenced off to grow in just big and lush and crazy, I mean, that late season up there, that redneck will be crazy. I mean, this tree stand right here in the early season will be pretty nuts too, and the beans are still green. But I got to go do one more field. I'm gonna put some posts up in one more field, and then hopefully by that time I'll have some help, can start erecting this bale wrap and getting her going. Well, you guys, this is what browse pressure does to a bean field. This bean field was planted earlier than the one we were just at, and look at it. I mean, it looks to be all dirt, but when you get close enough, you can see there's all these beans are growing up. I mean, there's a ton of beans in here. It's just all of them are getting nipped off before they even have a chance to grow. So we're late on putting this fence up in here. Nonetheless, we're gonna put it up. Dean already planted a bunch of brassicas in here, a turnip blend. So we're gonna have turnips coming out all through in here as well. But we're gonna put a fence in the middle of this main area right here, main area that's closest to the redneck ghillie blind, and hopefully it will preserve the beans in the middle enough, along with the brassicas that's going to grow on the inside and on the outside, and we can salvage this food plot, because this food plot is our bread and butter right here. I mean, this is where Dean killed Sventek, and this is where we have a majority of the deer sightings throughout the year, early, middle, and later part of the season. It's super easy to get in and out of, and I mean, this bottom field fills up with deer, especially in the late season. So we have to be able to have some sort of food in here. Same thing as the other plot. It is surrounded by apple trees, so the deer literally just browse all throughout this bottom and eventually make it into this plot to feed for probably the duration of the evening. But we have to have food in here, like we have to. So do your football drill.
Grab the bell wrap. Grab the bell wrap. Get moving. Chop your feet. Chop your feet when you're grabbing that bell wrap. Get down. Shoulder, feet shoulder width apart. Up, down.
Alright, let's do it. Well, we just finished up mission number 1 for the day. Finished bale wrapping this whole fence. We're gonna come back and put caution tape around the whole thing, because the 2 fences will throw the deer's depth perception off a little bit, and hopefully they won't jump into it, run into it, bite at it, hoof at it like they did last year. So we're hoping that at least saves a little bit of our beans, because if we could have a solid bean crop in the middle of this field, it's about an acre or so with turnips and stuff all around it, I mean, it should be money all season long. I think part of the difference maker this year is going to be, last year we literally almost to the woods, and the other field we fenced it. And this year we're going in about 10 yards, even more in some spots. So the deer, when they enter the field, shouldn't feel like they have to enter the fence in order to eat. Because that's how it was last year. In order for them to get into the field, which is what they wanted to do, open grazing, they had to jump or bite the fence, whatever, get in somehow. They shouldn't feel like that in here, so hopefully it's a little more effective. Well, we accomplished putting up fence number 2. Once again, we left a little bit around the outer edges so that the deer could graze outside of the fence. Hopefully it doesn't make them feel like they need to get into the fence as much. But who knows? This fence got destroyed last year. It's a lot cleaner than last year. But give it a couple days, see how it's working. See what the pressure is. It'll be interesting to see the difference in pressure outside and in, because last year we didn't really get to see that with putting the fence all the way to the outer limit. We didn't. I'm ready for a cold beer. Me too. How about that?
Now, a lot of you are probably asking, well, why didn't you just put up an electric fence? Well, an electric fence costs roughly $1,200 to $1,300 per acre that you want to fence off, so our way is cheaper. Number 2, we had the bale wrap and the fence posts all ready from last year, so we're using our resources. And number 3 is time. We just didn't have the time to put up an electric fence. Now, is this bale wrap fence going to be foolproof? No. But we are hoping by leaving some browse areas on the outer part of the fence that the deer won't want to get into the fence as much as they did last year. Let's be honest, they're probably going to destroy the fence. But this is a less expensive way to try and preserve your beans on smaller plots, which is extremely necessary if you want to have any crops left for the deer to eat come deer season. And hey, we'll see. It just might work. Thank you all for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram at Team TAGNBRAG, and now follow us on Snapchat at Team TAGNBRAG as well. Next week, we will be coming at you live from North Dakota with the 10th edition of Food Plot Chronicles. You won't want to miss it. We will see y'all there. Thank you for the support and the love. We love you right back. Have a great week. See ya.